Good afternoon. My name is Seafood Dave Charlesworth from Kajukenbo Napoli here in Naples, Italy. I wanted to make a video today because it's been a long time since I've made a video. It's I think probably been a little bit over a month, maybe a little bit longer. Um, and I wanted to get on here and I wanted to say a few things because as many of you probably know, and some of you probably don't know, Senior Grandmaster Jimenez is no longer with us. He passed away a little bit ago. And, I've been kind of feeling a little bit of that and kind of missing the guy and missing my grandmaster, my teacher, and my friend. Um, and I think there's a couple things that I wanted to say now that that's transpired and some time has passed, and I've kind of been going through a process here, so to speak. It is a process of grieving a little bit when you lose your teacher. Some of you know that, some of you don't. And I think it's important to note here that obviously a lot of you had some beef with him, so to speak. And with that said, I hope you all saw his video apology that he made for some of the stuff that had gone on prior to his demise. And I'll play some of that here and play it for you. It's not very long, but it's heartfelt. It's something that came from his heart, and I think is worth at least watching and taking it in, and you decide what you do with it.
Hello, this is Senior Grandmaster Hemenes. I'm not going to title this, but I just wish you guys would post this and please pass it around. Well, I'm very sick, as you guys know. I'm not on the petticoat wagon, but I'm just saying, I'm pretty sick, and there's a few things that'll make it off my chest. First of all, just with my people that's been around me and it's helped me, I'm not going to list every name on here. You guys know who's helped me and who hasn't helped me in the past or just blew me off. I appreciate the cards in the mail from people all over the world. Trust me, I love all you guys. Okay? So I just want to tell you guys from the bottom of my heart, I love you guys. Love everyone. I love every one of you guys. I want to thank you for always being beside me in this bad thing that's going on. Usually in life, I've always come out on top. On this one, I think I'm a kind of up-battled one. But I just want to share my thoughts to you guys. And it's my last part here is for the whole Kajukenbo world. And I hope you guys read this. Just don't think, oh, that's an asshole, and delete me. Just listen to me on this one thing. Okay? When Imperator started this whole Kajukenbo thing and we were all together, and they used the word Ohana, this is probably going to be kind of negative. I always kind of I didn't even bring that name up, because the problem is with Ohana, it's being used, but it's being used in the wrong way. You're my Ohana, but yet in the same token, you're taking money from me, or this, or that, or it's over for your own benefit. When you say Ohana, that means you reach out to everybody. I don't care what association is. I'm not going to say anything bad about anybody. I don't care what association is. If another one down the line has a problem with anything, all you guys should hop in and say, hey, do we need anything? It doesn't have to be money. It can be, hey, do you need a couple of uniforms, or do you need us to help teach you, whatever? Or maybe I can show you some of our forms to help you out. The ones that got promoted that, didn't deserve it. Maybe you guys, instead of mocking, reach out with your hand and say, hey, let's make this right. If you're missing a few forms or techniques, we'll get them to you, and we're sure glad to help you. That's Ohana. in my opinion. Now, my last thing I'm going to say is, and it's coming from my heart. You know, I've been in martial arts since I was a little bitty kid, me and Grandmaster Willis. Have I always been a nice guy? No. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes I always look at it this way. You're a karate teacher on the mat, but you're a businessman in the office. You know, sometimes you have to be kind of cruel. In my part, I did the opposite. I paid house payments. I did all kinds of stuff I did with the parents. I helped what I could. Sorry, my hand's shaking. I helped what I could. That's the Ohana. Now, in the past year or so, I went through a lot of crap from everybody, from many just certain people. But this is from the bottom of my heart. I forgive everybody. Everybody. I don't care who it is. I forgive them, and I hope they can forgive me for maybe saying the wrong words or saying something I shouldn't have said. I know I did it a couple times. I know I did that, and I apologized. But it really wasn't me. It was just the anger from being attacked. But I was to let you know, I love all you guys, all the other associations in this organization. I have no ill animosity towards anybody. I love you all, and if I offended anybody, please take my forgiveness. And this is coming from my heart. It's not because of the situation, it's just coming from my heart. So I just want everybody to know that. So please share the Ohana, but share it the right way, not the wrong way. And like I said, I'm still fighting this, but it's probably pretty much down battle hill, whatever you call it. So I know I got powerful people under me that's helping me. Again, there's people that's helped me so much in this thing that's going on. Even before that, you know, between my children and stuff, they've never left my side, especially my little Charlie. So it's going to break her heart. But again, I'm Senior Grandmaster. Please take my forgiveness if I've done anything wrong to anybody. Well, Kajukenbo out, and I'll talk to you one day.
Okay, with that said, I also want to talk a little bit about his wishes and what he wanted after he died and after he passed away. I think he knew it was coming, and he didn't share that with a lot of people.
This is Senior Grandmaster Hemenes coming from South Lake Tahoe for the Worldwide Kajukenbo Federation. I know a lot of you know my situation, that I'm very sick, and I'm trying to fight it. Am I going to win? I don't know on this one. But I want to make a few things clarity to everybody. The Worldwide Kajukenbo Federation, Senior Grandmaster Willis, Professor Osterhoff, will run the Worldwide Kajukenbo Federation with the help of Dave Charlesworth and Siku Miller. Now, all the other Black Belts Grandmasters that are all over the world are under me. I'm going to make a separate video with you guys, you know, explaining everything. All you guys are part of it. I just can't put everybody on the board because maybe, you know, 100 people on there, and it's too much. So take nothing personal or not being on there. It's just my wishes. No one else will have the power of the Worldwide Kajukenbo Federation except for Senior Grandmaster Willis and Professor Osterhoff. They will handle it. They're trusty, loyal people. I've known Senior Grandmaster Willis since I was a little kid. So I already get people out there in the hawks waiting to come in and just try to scoop up all kinds of people. And if you decide you don't want to leave, that's fine, because you're never meant to be if you leave. Because when Charles Gaylord passed away, no one left him. We all stuck with him by his side. Nobody left him because of loyalty. Now, the last thing I want to say on this video is it's one promotion we're going to do, one of them. I'm going to do this one right now on the line. Senior Grandmaster Lopez, that you know has had a bad stroke, and he's not doing very well at all. To keep his legacy going, his daughter Janea is going to be promoted to 6th degree Sigan, and she's going to keep the Lopez method running and alive. So if it has anything to do with the Lopez method, she's the one you're going to talk to. She's the one that's going to head that thing. That's her dad's legacy. And nothing more better than a person like Janea, which is a great person, great martial artist, and she would fulfill the wishes that he's supposed to have, and the ones that he didn't hold on to. But she'll fulfill them. So she is the owner of the Lopez method, and she will always be. So that's one promotion. There'll be a few others. But I want one more time, the Worldwide Kajukenbo Federation, if I pass, solely goes to Senior Grandmaster Willis and Professor Alsteroff. Now I'm here right now, I'm not dead yet. When that time comes, I want you to keep that in mind. So if there's any questions, you can still come to me. I'm still alive. But as of right now, they'll be running everything. So talk to them, talk to Dave Charlesworth, Steve Miller. You know, they got a big voice, you know, and they'll share it. So this is my video on what's going on right now. The Worldwide Kajukenbo Federation and Janea Lopez's promotion, taking over the Lopez method. Again, I hope you all the best, and I wish you the best.
You know, I think it's important here to look back over the things that have transpired in the last year or two, and I know that there's been a lot of things that have happened and been said. Some of it on my channel, some of it by Senior Grandmaster on his channel. You know, there's a lot of consternation that went back and forth between him and others. Now, I can only speak to what's transpired on my channel, but you know, I'm not one to typically censor people on my channel for the most part, unless they say something completely egregious and something I completely stand against. You know, then I may take that out. But I give people an opportunity to share what's on their mind and share what they're feeling, and you know, sometimes I think it's justified when they say what they say, you know. And I think that happened a lot with Senior Grandmaster Hemenes, because he was always under attack by someone. And I know that there was I don't want to say a grudge between him and a certain organization that he used to be a part of. I know that there was some things that were said between different members of each party that you know, continue to fester and get worse. And I'm hoping now that that's passed, that we can also let that pass. Now, I know there's a lot of things that I defended Senior Grandmaster against, and unfortunately, some of those things may have had a little validity to them. I've been finding out a lot more information now that that Senior Grandmaster Hemenes is gone. And a lot of things that weren't shared with me prior to his passing, probably out of respect for him, which I appreciate. But I always asked when people would say things and say, "Well, why do you say that?" And, nobody would actually tell me what the reasoning was and give me more information. But I've now talked to several people that are very close to him, and some of the things that I found out are unfortunate. I can only spoke to my experience with Senior Grandmaster Jimenez, and all I can say is he never treated me the way that people thought of him. Never charged me for any promotions. Never asked for any money. And that's that. So I mean, maybe it's because I have my YouTube channel, and he wanted me to to spread that positive vibe that he's putting out there, and I think he did do a lot of that as well. I know there was a couple individuals that got promoted to some pretty high ranks that probably didn't deserve it, and he came out and flat out said that. And independently of the fact that he had another grandmaster from Hawaii go out and investigate. Well, I'm just going to put it out there: Egypt and Kuwait, and the analysis of that was that they're definitely teaching Kajukenbo. Now I've since found out some information about that individual as well that disheartens me, and I won't go into the details on that, and I won't mention the name. But I do want to talk a little bit about Senior Grandmaster's wishes going forward. He made a tape, and I'm going to play that for you here, where he basically put out what his wishes were, and he wanted Senior Grandmaster Willis to take over the WWKF and essentially absorb what's left of the WWKF into his organization. And essentially assisted by the vice president of the then WWKF, who has since left the organization for the other individual that was mentioned, that not named, and made the two prosper, I guess, is what I'll wish them for. But you can, although Senior Grandmaster felt that, he was a very loyal man, clearly not so much, because less than 5 days after his death, he went under another Grandmaster who was, frothing at the bit, contacting members of the WWKF and trying to scrape up the pieces, so to speak, so that he can validate his own organization, which is pretty small. And I don't want to talk smack about anybody. I really don't. But I do think that when you proclaim to be someone's friend, and you proclaim to be loyal to that person, and then you continue to use his name and his organization to try to bolster yourself, but yet you leave the organization and don't follow the wishes of your Senior Grandmaster before that he put out before he died. That tells you, a lot of things about someone. Okay. And one of those other individuals that was promoted from Morocco followed suit, and he continues to use the WWKF name to try to bolster himself and make something of himself, and I will say, now that Tony's gone, is I did advise him against doing that prior to his, promoting both Egypt and Morocco to 8th degrees. I felt that was not a good idea, and he made that decision anyhow, and which was his right to do as a Senior Grandmaster. So who was I to tell him not to? I'm his student, not his teacher. So It was unfortunate that it happened, and he got a lot of business for it. And then I got a lot of business for defending him. And I can only say now, uh, I did it because he was my teacher, and I said, hey, you know, talk to him in private about it. I didn't attack people for it. Uh, I said, hey, if you have a beef with him, hit him up in private. He puts out his phone number, his contact information, everything else. And I ended up getting kicked out of the chat room where a lot of this was happening, um, for defending my teacher. And all I can say is what would you have done if someone had attacked your teacher in that manner? And I think I tried to be respectful about how I did things and what I did. Um, and I don't know that I ever took it too far. Now, I did make a video about the BOA standards. If you haven't seen it, feel free to watch it. It's on my channel. It's still posted there. I haven't taken it down because I don't believe that I said anything that was negative towards anyone. I did point out some disparities, and I didn't do that to attack anyone, but I did that to point out the fact that certain people are treated differently than others when it comes to you know acceptance by the BOA and things like that. Uh, and I pointed out some discrepancy on the family tree, which I was told during that was probably going to be corrected because the corrections were already submitted to Grandmaster Galinas to correct those things. However, the last copy of the family tree that Grandmaster Galinas made, that was an online only version, does not have those changes made on it. And I wonder, if that may be part of it, is because I will tell you this is because Grandmaster Galinas did an outstanding job with the family tree. And he did a lot to maintain the integrity of that family tree. He didn't like to change things. He didn't like to move people from one person to another person. Um, when he crested, he wouldn't put anybody on that tree unless the person that made the promotion contacted him and said, hey, put this guy in the family tree under me, you know. So I applaud his integrity in that, and I certainly hope that uh, my video had absolutely nothing to do with him not being a part of the family tree anymore, because I know he did a really good job on that, and I know he took a lot of pride in doing so. And I apologize to him if I did have something to do with that, by pointing that out, and then a very senior member of the BOA asking him to make changes, and those changes not happening. I hope that has nothing to do with the fact that he no longer is doing the family tree. With that said, in regards to Grandmaster Hemenes' wishes for the WWKF, the WWKF was to continue under the leadership of Senior Grandmaster Jimmy Willis, assisted by Professor Al-Saraf, who is no longer with the WWKF and is now part of another organization. With that said, his wishes also included a statement that he and the professor were to be assisted by myself and Sifu Steve Miller. Right there in the video, and I believe that's because he trusted us and felt that we would do what we could to push his legacy forward. With that said, since then, due to the departure of Professor Al-Saraf, that leaves Senior Grandmaster Jimmy Willis and Sifu Steve Miller and myself to push things forward. Now, since that, we have basically transitioned the WWKF to the WKF, which is the Willis Kajukenbo Federation. We changed our patch again, so the tradition in the WWKF has continued. We have a new patch. Um, I'll be sharing that with you here, and in the near future, that will be up on my channel as well, and on my web pages and things of that nature. We're doing this because unfortunately the untimeliness of his death, and the fact that none of us had any other controls on his websites or the WWKF website. We have to start from scratch, and we're just going to do that under a new banner that already exists, and we'll be doing that with Senior Grandmaster Willis. So with that said, I'm proud to be a member of the Willis Kajukenbo Federation as his representative for Italy. And I'd like to just point out too, for some of those who don't know who I am and clearly haven't been watching any of the videos that Senior Grandmaster Hemenes and I have done over the last, I don't know, 5 years, who claim to not know who I am. When clearly most of them, I don't know who they are. But with that said, that doesn't mean that they weren't members of the WWKF. There's a lot of them. Granted, I would say that the WWKF was never as large as portrayed to be. But it is what it is. I think that goes along with the disagreement that continued between him and another organization. I hope that none of the videos that we made together, I hope that none of those were something where I was disrespectful towards anyone. I think there was maybe one or two, I've since taken those down, that I felt were kind of over the top. And they were mainly Senior Grandmaster saying what he wanted to say and me just kind of hosting him, so to speak. With that said, I hope that those of you who are watching me under the blanket with the flashlight will decide to subscribe to my channel and continue to watch what I'm providing. And I'm not sure how much longer I will continue to provide content, because it's a lot of work. So I ask you, if you're one of those who likes to watch my channel and is not subscribed, please do so to let me know that you want me to keep providing content. Otherwise, it's kind of it's a lot of work for nothing. I did it essentially originally to promote Kajukenbo and promote Worldwide Kajukenbo Federation. I wanted to show that Senior Grandmaster Hemenes is teaching the Gaylord method, and that and provide evidence of that on my channel. Now, I know that there have been a couple of haters out there that have mentioned things, and like, for example, well, all the punch counters in the Gaylord method, are for a right cross. Well, I don't teach it that way, because obviously, not everybody's going to hit you with the right cross. So, a little variation is important. I'm also going to be kind of tuning up when I'm teaching a little bit. I'm learning quite a bit of new stuff too, also from Senior Grandmaster Willis, and I've got a lot of stuff from my Lopez days that I'm not just going to discard. I'm going to keep that around. So with that said, I hope that you continue to watch the channel. I hope that you'll consider subscribing if you haven't already, because I know that at least 25% of my subscribers, well, actually more than that, I think 25% are subscribed, and the other 75% of my viewership is non-subscribed individuals. So if you like what you're watching, please subscribe. It kind of gives me a little bit of motivation to keep on going. I have learned a lot of information since I started doing this, and I've got a lot of history information that's yet to be discussed and I haven't brought it forward as of yet. But I think that there's a lot more information out there that's been not been discussed, and I don't want to say concealed, but to a certain extent, some of it has been. We do know that there's two versions of the Kajukenbo history out there. There's the fairy tale version, and then there's the closer to the real version, put out by two very different historians, with regards to Kajukenbo in our history. I think that the second version is probably a little closer to the truth, but it hasn't gone far enough as of yet. So I know that there's been some talk that me and Sifu Steve Miller were going to discuss that, and some of it may be a little bit controversial. But maybe next episode with him, we'll talk some about that. We'll see. I don't want to do that solo because I'd like to include him on that because we've both done a lot of work talking to a lot of different people and gathering a lot of information and whatnot. So with that said, I hope that you have a good day, and we'll be talking to you soon. So without any further ado,